Hey, Johnny, how about a beer, huh?
Ooh, couple Charles Bukowskis?
Couple Brustoyevskis?
Maybe a Mike Brugoslowski?
Perhaps a Teddy Brewski?
That's a good one.
You know what? I think I too want a Martina Never to Brewski.
Oh, no, no.
Hi, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Megan Sweeney-Dadkho, and I'm the finance manager at Camp Brewski. Today, I'm going to walk you through our business plan and our strategies for success. Camp Brewski is committed to sharing an adventure with customers and friends by providing quality brews and extraordinary experiences. Our core values are focused on the art of brewing, our atmosphere, our culture, and of course, quality beer. We're not your typical dive bar or sports bar. We're an outdoor-themed brewery that provides an exclusive environment for a crowd who has a unique connection with the outdoors and nature. The hikers, the campers, and the outdoors person who loves nothing more than to enjoy beer with friends around a campfire. Camp Brewski will be formed in the state of Washington as a multi-member limited liability company. The advantages of forming the business as an LLC have to do with the flexibility of the structure in terms of management and day-to-day operations. The state of Washington is advantageous because it does not have a state income tax. As a multi-member LLC, the company will not be responsible for paying tax on the business income earned. Instead, that income will pass through to the owners. Our target market is Vancouver, Washington, which is located in southwest Washington, just across the Columbia River from Portland, Oregon. Vancouver is a gorgeous suburb of Portland. The population is 174,000 people with an annual growth rate of 8%. Currently, 29% of Vancouver's population is between the ages of 25 and 44. This age group is comprised of millennials and Gen Xers. Nationwide, this demographic represents 40% of craft brew drinkers. Another reason why Vancouver is such a strong target market. Camp Brewski has 5 partners with equal interest in the company. Each partner will serve in roles that fit with current professional experience. Hector Barragan will serve as facilities manager. Amy Colhane will act as our office manager while also being heavily involved in our marketing strategies. Daniel Kenny will serve as operations manager. Jonathan Wormwood will act as supply chain manager, and I will serve in the capacity of finance manager. Each of us is committed to ensuring the business succeeds by pledging personal funds and time to ensure the business and day-to-day operations are professionally managed. While professionals, we all have a wild side, and we'll make sure that our personalities carry through to cultivate Camp Brewski's culture. Camp Brewski will have a traditional restaurant bar management structure, with the owners taking a hands-on management approach. We will need to hire a brewmaster as well as wait staff. In the early years, Camp Brewski will pay the market rate. Servers and bartenders will earn an hourly wage. Office staff and the brewmaster will be salaried employees. Owners will work part-time and participate in profit sharing. This will be their only source of income from Camp Brewski in the early years. As the company grows and profits increase, Camp Brewski will look to incorporate guaranteed payments, which will be advantageous to Camp Brewski because the IRS considers these payments a deductible expense to the business. Committing to the adventure of great beer means committing to the long-term sustainability of great beer, which is why Camp Brewski has committed to a clean brewing policy. We will use sustainable and locally farmed ingredients wherever possible and not cost-prohibitive. We are also committed to reducing waste and energy consumption. We have a carbon neutral goal and will pursue this with the use of solar panels and utilizing technology to maximize process efficiencies and minimize waste. We will also minimize our water usage through efficiencies in the brewing process. Additionally, we are exploring the opportunity to purchase carbon offsets to minimize our carbon dioxide footprint and be a more CO2 neutral facility. Our merchandise will be environmentally friendly packaged, and we are considering the use of Bluetooth temperature sensors. While our existing market is relatively small, there is a lot of upside and future potential for Camp Brewski to establish itself and grow into a larger distributor. For example, did you know that 1 out of every 10 beers sold in America is craft brewed? The Brewers Association report states that small and independent craft brewers saw a 5% rise in volume of beer in 2017, reaching a total of 12.7% of the U.S. beer market by volume. With increases in both production volume and prices, this share of the market will continue to grow at a rapid rate. In addition to market growth, retail dollar sales of craft beer increased 8%, up to $26 billion, accounting for more than 23% of the $111.4 billion U.S. beer market. The number of operating breweries also grew. Take a quick look at Google Maps. Here you can see the Portland brewery market, followed by the Vancouver brewery market across the Columbia River in Washington. Camp Brewski's overarching goal with technology is to increase efficiencies by utilizing software that can synchronize across platforms, allowing more time and effort to be spent on customer engagement. If it can be automated and it makes sense to automate, it will most likely be automated. A POS software like SteadyServe will be utilized to measure barrel weights, inventory, brewing cycles, and other key performance indicators. This software provides actionable data that will allow Camp Brewski to brew and stock the right beers, purchase raw ingredients, make predictions about performance, and refine the beer lineup. The software also functions as a CRM software to determine customer preferences and needs. Operating technology like QuickBooks Online will be used for accounting and be integrated with the POS touchscreen terminal for receiving payments. Software will also be used to manage staffing schedules and brewery tours. Quality control is a key success factor for Camp Brewski. Throughout the brewing process, from start to finish, our brews and brewing equipment will be continuously monitored by our brewmaster, whose expertise will be critical to the success of our production. Data will be analyzed to optimize production parameters and reduce waste. Our brewmaster will monitor our brews to ensure the proper international bitterness units, pH, and gravity levels. We will apply for a $400,000 SBA loan for equipment, fixtures, and working capital and expect an interest rate of 6.5%. We'll make a minimum 10% down payment of $40,000. Based on a $360,000 business loan with a 10-year term amortized over 25 years at the 6.5% interest rate, our annual payment will be $29,170. We will use our equipment as collateral and expect that our lenders will file a uniform commercial code filing. Since none of the partners have experience owning a restaurant, we will also need to include resumes showing that our experience justifies our qualifications to secure the loan. We will also be prepared to provide the bank with 3 years of tax returns for each guarantor, personal financial statements and personal liquidity statements, our IRS-issued EIN number for the business, our Washington State Business Registry license, our proof of Washington State liquor license, our proof of business insurance, details of our business banking account, and our business entity documents, which will include our corporate bylaws, operating agreement, and articles of organization. In securing the loan, we will convey our management experience and knowledge of state and industry compliance expectations. For example, we plan to hire an HR consultant to write an employee handbook for us in addition to policies. Our plan is to use this consultant to help us with our hiring process to ensure that we follow all rules and regulations with the state of Washington and federal government. The $40,000 down payment for the loan will be comprised of $8,000 from each founder. Founders will also invest another $30,000 in startup costs, which will come from personal savings and personal lines of credit. With owner investment totaling $150,000 in addition to the loan, Camp Brewski will have working capital of $510,000, which will allow us to purchase brewing equipment, secure a location, make improvements to that location, and buy raw materials, as well as office equipment and IT equipment. This money will also cover our hiring costs. Our equipment will serve as collateral to secure the loan. Approximate capital costs include equipment at a conservatively high $176,000 estimate and furniture and leasehold improvements at an estimate of $200,000. P&L projections for 2019 to 2021 forecast costs outweighing revenues in the first year of operation, with sales of 500 barrels projected in year one. Profitability will increase more strongly in subsequent years, with sales of 1,000 barrels in year two and 1,500 barrels in year three, consistent with similar brewing startups in the region. Revenue is projected based on 247 pints per barrel at an average per barrel cost of $180. For projection purposes, a margin of error was factored into this cost for years 1 and 2, with more weight given to year 1 as Camp Brewski anticipates a learning curve. Increases in efficiency and volume discounts have been taken into consideration beginning in year 3. With a sales price of $5 per pint and an estimated 10% spillage rate, Camp Brewski projects $1,111 in revenue per barrel of beer sold. In addition to revenue from beer sales, Camp Brewski expects minor revenue streams from merchandise sales, experience events such as brewery tours, and food cart rentals. Camp Brewski anticipates charging a nominal fee of $5 in exchange for a 30 to 45-minute tour of the brewing facility with the tasting room experience at the end of the tour. As popularity grows, Camp Brewski estimates 50 tours per year, which will include events such as live music. In the current business model, Camp Brewski does not include an in-house kitchen. Instead, we will partner with local food carts and trucks to sell food on site. Typical rental areas with utility hookups will be approximately $800 per month. In year 1, Camp Brewski's break-even will be $583,000. In year 2, our break-even will be $573,000. And in year 3, our break-even will be $534,000. As it relates to beer sales, Camp Brewski's cost of goods sold will increase year over year. However, due to volume discounts on raw materials, our COGS as a percentage of sales will decrease, which will be advantageous for Camp Brewski and lead to increased profit margins. In the first year of business, Camp Brewski will rely on its commercial loan and owner investment from a cash flow management standpoint. In years 2 and 3, increases in sales will improve Camp Brewski's cash position due to volume discounts, continuous improvements in the brewing process, economies of scale, and increased brand awareness. During this time, I will work with our team to reassess projections, determine a plan for accelerating our debt repayment, options for increasing reserves, and potentially obtaining a small line of credit for opening new locations in the future. In our first year of operation, we will focus on building brand awareness and growing our market share. By our 5th year, Camp Brewski would like to have a second location with a venue to host events and outdoor product offerings. This will allow for more storage and brewing equipment to build up our inventories. At this time, we will look to identify partners to develop a distribution network. In 10 years, Camp Brewski will focus on overnight stays at its rural locations in the form of small cabins, tent areas, and yurt rentals. Camp Brewski will also substantially increase outside beer sales through our distribution network. As Camp Brewski's brand awareness and inventories increase due to increased production capacity from additional locations, we will look to establish contracts with local and regional distributors. As we grow, we will focus on increasing our revenue streams. In terms of our exit strategy, we would look to merge with an existing brewery that has similar core values. This would increase our resources, our buying power, and increase our overall competitiveness in the market. We would also look to partner with a distributor that could help take our business to the next level. Camp Brewski is also positioned to hand down the company to the next generation of family owners. It takes the right people to develop the culture and quality of beer that goes into the business. By bringing in the next generation to run the business, it would help with future expansion by way of new ideas and different mindsets. Thank you again for joining me today. I look forward to sharing an experience with you at Camp Brewski.